In this session, we want to talk about new product development. Now, we'll start with the meaning and types of new products. What are they and what are their attributes? Well, first of all, new products may be derived from improvements or modifications to existing products. That's always a good source of inspiration. So new products may be derived from existing products. A new product may establish a new market. So perhaps the market did not exist beforehand and a new product came into existence which brought the market into existence. Countless examples of this, but in recent times modifications and innovations with mobile phones, cell phones, have led to the introduction of a new market, a market for essentially telephones that access the internet and can play music and take pictures, and so there was a new market. The new product generated the new market. It could be that there's a repositioning. That means placing existing products in new segments or new markets. So in the new market, in the new segment of the market, the product will appear to be new. But it's really just a repositioning from one part of the market to a different one. This could happen typically in international trade, where a product is quite successful in one country and is now positioned in a second country. It's the same product, but it's like a new product in that market. Finally, new products arising from innovation and cost reductions. Sometimes the process of innovation simply throws up new products. They're almost byproducts of what was intended. What was intended was something else, and on the way a new product was discovered, or a new way of doing something was discovered. An innovation occurred which generated the new product. So those may be some of the sources for new products. Now, for new product development, well, this is driven to extend the product portfolio. This is often the case. The product portfolio may be quite small and quite narrow. So a new product development extends the portfolio. In other words, it diversifies risk. Should some of the portfolio start to fail, the new product may be there to generate the revenue to keep the business afloat. And new innovative products help to keep customers engaged. We like new things, we like new products, we like gadgets, we like innovations, we like change. So new innovative products keep us interested and keep us interested in the company. And of course, the new products will maintain a competitive advantage and beat competitors because of the newness of the product. A new product which is successful in the market will beat existing products which perhaps have not innovated or changed for some time. So competitors will suffer at the hands of the new product, the metaphoric hands of the new product. So it'll bring in new customers and develop new markets. Now, businesses innovate to improve their product range. This is done either by modifying existing products or by adding entirely new products. So they innovate to improve their product range, as I said, to diversify risk, so as not to be dependent on one product. Should the market go bad for that one product, then the business will be in trouble. The new product development process is important for long-term survival, the reputation as an innovator, and for profitability. And that's really why there is such a drive for new product development. Now let's look at the new product development process, the steps in introducing a new product. Well, these are our 7 stages for the development of a new product. First of all, we have idea generation, idea screening, concept development, business analysis, product development, market testing, and product launch. Now, in a sense, these steps, or these stages, are not just essential, but the sequencing of them is important. The sequencing, it is a logical sequencing. Everything starts with an idea. All products start with an idea. In that sense, everything we've got is the product of somebody's imagination. Of course, that person is the entrepreneur. That's why entrepreneurship is so important. So let's go through each one of these quite fast in turn. We start with idea generation, the first one. Then we'll go to idea screening and so on. So we start with idea generation. It's related to the concept of entrepreneur, as I said. It's the most important stage of product development. So new products come from a number of sources. The imagination is all important. It's the imagination of the entrepreneur, it's the imagination of the person who is introducing this product and thinking about this new product. It could come, of course, from research and development, but it still has to be identified as a candidate for commercial launch. The employees, the customers, the distributors, and the competitors all make contributions by their actions. Now, idea screening. This looks at a set of feasible ideas and selects the best one. The best here means the one that meets the criteria set. The next stage in the process is to fully ensure that the idea is feasible, financially viable, and marketable. And in this context, feasibility means profitability. It is feasible. It can be done, and it can be done at a profitable in a profitable way. It can be done to generate profits. So it's financially viable as well. It's sound in terms of the cost structure and the likely market revenue, and it is marketable. Screening may consist of the following areas: the relationship between the business and the customer's core benefit. Now, the customers, they have something specific in mind, and the relationship between the business and that, in terms of this product, is all important. So the idea must be screened with the customer in mind. And that's why market research is so important as well. The expected profitability from implementing the idea should be worked out. If it's not going to be that profitable, perhaps it shouldn't be developed in the first place. The product must fit the company's image in the marketplace. If the company has a reputation for high quality goods, then the new product must, in a similar fashion, be suitable for that market. It must be high quality. It must be seen as high quality and fitting with the range, the product range of the business. The investment, training and resources needed and the product life cycle, these are important and should be worked out in advance. And analyze the market to assess the likelihood of success in the market, including market conditions and competition. So idea screening is a very wide process, but it's essential that all of these areas are looked at so as to ensure that the product can go forward. And it can go forward because the management and the entrepreneur have some confidence that the product will be successful. Now, the concept development. This looks at the feasibility of the product in detail. Depending on the product, a prototype may be developed. If it's a physical thing, then a prototype may be developed. It may also engage in detailed market research, focus groups, questionnaires and others. So the concept development is trying to work through whether the market will be there at the end and what are the issues in bringing this product into existence. It's ironing out any issues, any problems that may be foreseen. Concept development may investigate the following. The new product should meet the customer need. If it doesn't meet customer needs, then there's no point. It's not going to sell. So the customer's need must be clearly identified and the product must address that need. The product should enhance the image of the company and project the company's image as innovative. It must be a credit to the company. People must admire the company for having produced the product, and it's innovative. It's changing the market. It's changing the way customers use the product or see the product. It should investigate likely customer attitudes towards the product in terms of price, design, convenience, and overall value for money. So it should really try to identify what the price should be, what the design should be, and whether the designs will meet the customer need and whether the customers will like the designs, the convenience of having the product, what it does for the customer, and the overall value for money. Is it worth it? Will the customer buy it because it's value for money? And also, concept development should assess the competition and consider whether potential competition is going to be out there, and prepare barriers to entry and other defensive strategies in the face of new competition. Because once the business starts to develop a new product, then there is a chance that the word will get around, and competitors will hear about it, and they may start to develop similar products. So what are the ways of stopping them? What are the barriers to entry? And seek improvements to the proposed product. The concept development should come up with ideas which will improve the proposed product. Now, business analysis. This looks at the viability of the product and its contribution to overall profits. That's what the business analysis is about. Whether it's worth making this product or doing all of the work in preparation for launching a new product, whether it's worth it in terms of its contribution to the overall profits. The following factors need to be considered. Estimates of current demand and sales potential, and also the likely future growth of the market. So what's the current demand and what's it likely to be in a year, 2 years, 10 years time? Production and cost should be appraised. Estimates of both total and unit costs will help in determining the price. But like looking at the demand or trying to estimate the demand into the future, the same could apply to costs. Costs will change in the future. And how will the differences between changes in costs and changes in market sales, how will these affect the profitability of the business? Budgets for resources and facilities required should be estimated, and should also be a projected break-even analysis. A projected break-even analysis concentrates the mind. It's covered in business finance, but it helps to concentrate the mind, the management know how much they must produce in order to break even. That's important. Even though it's estimated, it's still perhaps better than nothing. And finally, a thorough analysis of competitive rivalry and their relative strengths and weaknesses is required. So it's important to assess who the competitors are and what are their strengths and weaknesses. Also, the new product will need investment. This in turn will require investment planning. So investment requires investment planning, and there should be some estimate of the return on the investment. It'll also need good promotion, advertising and distribution channels. So the marketing people have got quite a big job. The marketing department will be busy in introducing a new product, trying to determine what is the best promotion methods to be used, what sort of advertising or general marketing should be used, and what distribution channels, how should it be released into the market. Finally, the profitability of the new product should be assessed. These are projections and estimates. The return on investment should also be estimated, as I said earlier, as should risk and possible price strategies. With any new product or new investment, it's important to have some sort of idea about the risk involved in engaging in this activity, in introducing the new product, because the market may reject it, or competitors may come out with an even better product. So risk must be assessed. Now, product development. Well, the production of the physical product involves the following stages: developing product, packaging, branding, and product positioning. These are a lot to do with the marketing department. The product is then introduced to the target market for approval. So these stages, once they've gone through, the product is introduced for market approval. But issues like safety issues for the product should be carefully assessed to make sure, because it is a new product, that it's safe to use. And it's financially feasible, cheap to produce and set up, ideally. And marketing issues, easy to understand and use. If it's complex, the customer may not buy it if it's difficult to use. Packaging and branding attracts customer attention, and this should be done in a way that attracts customers, but it's not wasteful. So the product should meet customers' needs with ease. That's the point. And it should be eco-friendly, which relates back to the packaging and branding as well. Packaging should not be wasteful, as I said. It should be environmentally friendly. It should be recyclable and so on, because it fits in with what modern day customers want. Market testing. This stage involves assessing the product's feasibility. Is the product, can it do what is claimed of it? Assessing its feasibility. Generally, it will be tested in a specific region or geographic area where it can be monitored and modified if necessary. So generally speaking, some small area will be selected for testing and the product tested out there to see if it works. And if it does work, if it's attractive in the marketplace, then it will go for perhaps a national launch. Market testing has its benefits. It allows the organization to observe customer and competitor behavior. So it's a good way of just seeing what is going on, what's likely to happen in a national setting or even an international setting. So it's tested out in a small area to see what's going to happen, what's likely to happen. If the product successfully passes through the market testing, then the product can be launched on a larger scale, as I said earlier. The limitations of market testing. Well, testing in a specific region does not indicate success for the product. It's similar to bias in sampling theory. It could be that the area selected was the wrong area, had the wrong characteristics. Could be. Environmental conditions may change between testing and the actual launch. So even though it was successful, and even though perhaps the area was correct, by the time it was launched nationally, something has changed. Something in the environment had changed. Something in the economy had changed. Something had changed, so it wasn't successful. That's a problem. And the third one is that the competitors become aware of the organization's activities and may disrupt plans. Once it's been tested out in a small area, the competitors will find out about it. They will find the product. They will see the product. And it's in their interest to try and obstruct the success of the launch in whatever way they can, legally of course. But they will try to have their own marketing campaigns, or they will try to do something to gain an advantage and to try to disrupt the successful launch of the product. Now the product launch itself, well, this stage involves the national launch of a product and target market. Well, the product begins its introductory stage of the product life cycle. So at the launch, it starts the product life cycle. It's at the beginning. It's just moving off. And the factors to consider when the launch is being planned is the timing of the launch. When is the right time to do it? What season? What month? Where should it be launched? In which city? Or what's the nature of the launch itself? Should it be a big media event, or should it be just done quietly, put into the shops? Or what is the ideal launch platform? How the product should be launched is an issue, and it may vary from product to product, and it also may vary over time. But it's a problem that must be dealt with and considered. And as I said, where will it be launched? Nationally, regionally, in a given city? Whereabouts? And why? What's the rationale for that? The product should meet a specific need or want, as I said earlier. To be successful, it must meet some customer need. It should address a niche in the market for this particular product. Ideally, there should have been a gap in the market, and this product fills the gap. That's the ideal situation. The product launch stage should be carefully planned. Everything about it should be carefully planned. All of the issues that we talked about in the previous slide should be looked over, and contingencies should also be put in place in case something fails or something goes wrong. And finally, the product must be of good quality and deliver its promise. Whatever it says on the packet, it can do. So whatever is claimed of the product, then that is possible. Now, let's just be very depressing on the last slide and talk about product failure. This may be caused for a variety of reasons. For a start, poor market research. The market research fed back bad information. It wasn't information, it was data, and it wasn't analysed correctly, or wrong conclusions were drawn from it, whatever. It was just poor, and decisions were based on bad information. It could be the product is too complex to understand and use. If the product is too complex, the customer will not buy it. They prefer something which is easy to use. It has to be convenient. It hasn't to be complicated, so every time they want to use it, it's difficult. It could be that not enough attention was given to marketing, launch and distribution, and that the launch itself was not successful, which perhaps gave the product a bad name. The launch was a fiasco, so it gave the product a bad name. Even though the product was good, it just became a joke within the market. It could be unexpected events may occur during the product development process. Technology may change for a start, or there may be shortages of some raw materials. There could be legal issues. It could be challenged because it violates some patents, or parts of it violates a patent. There could be all sorts of issues that arise during the development process. It could be that there's no demand for the product. It does not deliver its promise. There's no demand. It doesn't address a need. Nobody wants it, and it fails. And finally, the packaging and branding does not attract customer attention. It could be the packaging and branding simply make it look gaudy, and it's not attractive, so the thing fails. So in this class we've looked at new product development, some of the issues associated with it, the 7 stages. We've talked our way through those, and we've talked about what's a successful product and what's not a successful product. There's lots more available on this topic online, so please have a look there. And go back over this session and stop the video from time to time and make your own notes. Have your own set of notes separate. But in the meantime, that's all I need to do on this topic, so thank you for watching.